the music's doing really well. It's catching on with everyone. Everyone's loving it. All of us are really. And so we're just like, fuck, more.
It does help when people like it, because it's nothing fucking worse and like disheartening when you put something out and it just doesn't get it. Like the craziest part for me with metal is I see so many bands put stuff out and it's genuinely incredible. And it gets no attention. And you're like, what the fuck is happening that this got zero attention?
Yeah. I wanted to talk to you about something because I saw you post something about that Finn Mckenty thing, that whole thing. Have you heard of it? So he's like a metal kind of commentator, I suppose, that talks about alternative music scene and like, you know, how popular the genre used to be, how it's not now. And he's kind of I don't know, sparks a lot of like controversy, I guess.
He's a bit of a troll sometimes.
Bit of a troll, right?
Yeah.
And I was going to ask you about that because you guys obviously like in the tech metal sort of space, so it's already kind of its own niche.
Yep.
But then of course the genre now, like I think in 2023, it's the best it's been in ages.
Yep.
Comparatively, even like compared to mid 2010s, it was like nothing much sort of going on. And now I reckon because of TikTok. TikTok's a massive one why alternative cultures and metal has come back. But I was going to ask you, like, when he says those comments of, like, rock metal is like, you know, it just sounds like this progressive, like, taking the piss out of probably your genre a little bit. Sort of, like, what's your thoughts on that?
I actually think he's semi-right. I'm not going to lie. I think when you go and watch TikTok and you look at the bands that are becoming successful, like Bad Omens and Sleep Token and things like that, they are very simplified music that have metal elements and then they're just big voices. And then kind of, Sleep Token obviously has the masks and stuff, which adds to their thing.
Yeah, the big aesthetic,
Yeah, the guy from Bad Omens is just like a really charismatic dude that everyone loves. So he's not wrong when he says like people like Fred Durst and people like that and like having that like front man or like who's like the one now, Ronnie Radke, like
Yeah.
whatever that dude says, whether it's good or bad, it
gets big. It'll
gets
be
big.
publicized.
People are talking about it. Everything he puts out, like you can't deny the guy's great at making music as well. So like it's like he's got like the element of everything. So when Finn says stuff like that, he's pretty right, but like at the same time he like peppers it with just like a fucking goofy ass comment that's like it ruined metal forever.
Like saltiness, eh?
Yeah.
But I kind of understand
the goofy comments bullshit. And I think it's literally just so he can rage bait. But I think the rest is peppered with quite a lot of the truth. But then again, it just comes down to if you like it, listen to it. If you don't like it, don't listen to it. Like,
it comes down to like what quantifies also the success conversation, which I'm sure you guys probably talk about. Like, well, what is it? Is it getting 50 million fucking monthly listeners, or is it just being able to play the music you love and enjoy yourself and whatever, or is it making lots of money? Going into music making money is a dumb fucking thing to do.
Yeah, that's an awful idea.
It's one of the worst things.
The opposite.
Yeah, you lose all the money.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean, though. It's like, well, what is your personal success with music?
Yeah. It's 100% not money. Money is literally just a means to sustain. Like it's literally if we can get money from shows and we can get money from merch and things break even, we are fucking stoked. Like we did the Australian tour that we just did and it fully broke even. We made zero and we had to fork up like the cost to go over in the first place. So we just got paid back essentially. That's a fucking win. Like that's the biggest win ever. Like we thought we were going to lose like $1,000 each personally. And for me personally, I don't know, it chops and changes. Like sometimes during release, you get so caught up in numbers and you look at the numbers and they go up and they go down, and they go up and they go down. And you're like, oh, fuck, do people like us? And then like you get kind of caught up in that and it gets to like, I think what was the highest we got to, like 40,000 monthly listeners during like the release we did. Man. And I was like getting stoked on that. And I was like, but it essentially doesn't mean shit. Like realistically, I'm equating like my whole life down to a bunch of numbers. And I was like, why am I doing this to myself? And I'd make myself feel bad when it dipped. And I was like, why am I doing this? It feels such a weird thing to do. So I'm trying to change it in my own brain to just be like, be like
enjoy the moment. And I think one day I think you'll be so happy that you are doing what you're doing, even if it does cost you $1,000 here and there. You'll look back one day and you'll be like, that's me, that's my encyclopedia, that's who I am, and I'm so glad I did it, because not everyone is doing what you're doing. That's the beauty of it. I mean, if people love it or hate it, it's like, I mean, I'm all for haters, because I'm like, yeah, bring them on, man, because that's more engagement.